everyone? It is Queen. And this particular conversation interests me to speak on because I too have experienced the lover's communication to God, prayer for a man, and a particular design man as well. So I came across an interview between Viola Davis and Oprah Winfrey where she too mentioned that she had her Viola prayer, and her conversation that she had with God was pretty much designing the man who is ultimately her husband now. And she mentioned that a friend suggested it to her. She mentioned that the friend told her to be real with it. You know, the looks, everything. I mean, it's God. Real talk. God knows you more than you know yourself. God created you. So, reflecting back to Ciara's prayer, with her stating that, you know, the type of man she was requesting is ultimately whom she is also married to as well, it just brings you to wonder, is this prayer? You know, for us women, communicating with God and asking God for a particular man that will fit the mold of exactly what we want and is best for us. Well, the reason for this particular video is to say, yeah, it's true. I've spoken to my female friends and mentioned to, you know, them to do it. But one thing that I noticed that Viola and Ciara, they said their prayers that they had with their communication with God, but it didn't also give an additional step. They really kind of go along with it, essentially. And it's kind of like preparing and saving yourself for Him. You know, you cannot be distracted with another and be given your mind or even partial of your body or your attention to some other man while communicating with God, the idyllic man you want to have. It don't go that way, okay? Realistically speaking, you have to free yourself and just let it go. As if to say, I ain't got no time. I'm focused on me and getting mine. And ultimately, that energy actually work congruently with the prayer, okay? So let me give you a story, and I'm going to call it Queen's Prayer because it was. Now, with myself, of course, like most women, we have attracted men that find us attractive, that want to be with us, that, you know, tell us everything we want to hear, and basically we get heartbroken. We get disappointed, and it's a matter of having to find the next, until you just get to the point where you're like, look, I'm tired. I don't want to be bothered. I just want to focus on me. And during that time of focusing on you, you're learning yourself. You're learning your wants, your desires, not just about as far as a companion, but for who you are and who you want to be. I remember one time I had a homegirl who was talking about, like, she was seeing two guys at the same time, okay? One guy like short earrings, the other guy like big earrings. And she would find herself wearing short earrings for that guy and big earrings for the other guy. And she was just telling me, as if to say, I don't even know what I like, because I'm so busy trying to please them with what they want. I don't even know what I want to wear, you know? And it's a matter of not knowing your own wants. So it's like taking the time and just learning yourself. Be focused on you. Now, granted, being focused on you might be a couple of months, it might be a couple of years, but it's about you learning you, because ultimately you, as being a whole person, is what you're trying to be as a companion to someone else. So for the most part, you know, have that sense of learning your desires and wants. And when you're ready, you will sit down and have that communication with God. And it will be where, yes, be specifics. You know, when I had my communication with God, it was a matter of sitting there and having those specific details. But I was focusing on me. I remember one time I had myself a soror. What up to the AKAs? Matter of fact, LS, who stated to me that she focused on her for 6 years. 6 years. And communicated to God, and her husband came. And she's married, or whatnot. And I know that I was like, wow, 6 years? You know? And granted, I ain't throwing my years out there, but let's just say God knows. Me saying my prayer and the man that came knows. But regardless of it, I took myself out and focused on me. I communicated with God, my maker, directly. No, I didn't leave the privacy of my home to go to any other type of sanctuary. Yes, I communicated with my God. Like, I remember the night that I did it. It was at night on my bed. And I asked, and I described, and I stated, and I also said, God, there's this one particular thing that I would love for him to do, or just have him do, so I know this is the one that you're talking about, for sure. Because, you know, sometimes you, like, you know, ladies in particular, and even gents, you know, or people, we get kind of blindsided by that, you know, the devil's playing a game and send you one of their, you know, their play toys to get you off your path with something else, that's some BS, you know what I mean, straight up. But in this instance, it was a matter of, you know, focusing on me. And real talk, he appeared. Queen's prayer was asked. It was answered. It was asked and it was answered. And I can honestly say that everything that I said, even down to that one thing, and it was that one particular thing that only I knew, Yo, let me tell you this. The man that I'm with now, he did that with no problem. He did that like it was just, he was designed for me. It was not me questioning who he is. It's not me wondering or whatnot. It's like me knowing that all them other shorties that he was with was not. That's why he was single when I got him. You know, they was not. And everything meshed. And I'm happy. I'm extremely happy. I'm very, very happy. Okay? And it is exactly, you know, a prayer that's been answered. I keep saying asked because I did. I asked for it, and it definitely came answered. So, yeah, that's how the way. But when it comes down to the prayers, ladies and gents, you know, when you saying these prayers, it's not like a matter of you just saying the prayers and thinking that you can take that time while you saying these prayers and communicating with God, you can still be out here doing what you're doing. No. It's like a two-step process, real talk. Like I said, my LS told me about that, and I was like, you know what I mean? And at the time, I wasn't listening anyway, you know. But it just seemed like when you want to focus on you, the time's gonna come. It's gonna come where it's just gonna be like, look, I'm tired. Like, forget this stuff. I'm not doing this stuff no more. I'm tired. I want to focus on me. And when that comes, it's like, it feels so magical. It just feels so pure when you actually meet that one. I mean, it's like it's like a puzzle piece that's just been missing, and you've been trying to find everything to fit, and then it's just right there. And when it fits, you're like, boom, basically. And then sometimes you second guess it. Is it really real? Is this really true? Can I really, like, you know, enjoy it? But one thing that I realized, especially, you know, going through worldwide pandemics and locally seeing babies being killed and people, you know, dying, life is short. You know, you don't know who, what, when, and where time gonna take you. So it's always best to start loving yourself and focusing on yourself first, so you can be that ultimate dynamic person for that companion that God is going to send you. God wants you to be happy. God wants you to have that companion, because God knows ultimately that companionship is needed in order for, mankind to continue, in order for, new life to continue. So it's a matter of, the connection being there. It's a matter of, that companion being there. But you just got to be ready. So real talk, thinking that you can, be hollering at one person and thinking that person, is just going to pop up one day. That ain't always the case. Maybe some people might experience it. Maybe some people might think they're going through it right now, and they have, found that one while being with someone else. But realistically speaking, that's more than likely, not the one. That's usually a dud. You got to be pure. You just got to be pure. So, on the contrary, picking back on Ciara's prayer and Viola Davis' prayer, Queen's prayer, Diamond 2 Queen's prayer, will say, yes, it works, but it's a two-step process. You just can't say a prayer. You just can't communicate with God. You ultimately going to have to focus on you and play the walk. And I ain't saying go to church, and I ain't saying, run around here, just, devote yourself if that ain't naturally you. Like I said, God knows who you are. Knows you better than you. But I will say to focus on you and find your own dreams, your own wants, your own desires, so that when that companion also come, not only will you have those type of wants and desires that you like in terms of compatibility, but you too could be able to have something to communicate about, talk about, discuss. It brings so much enlightenment and joy and fun to the relationship, which is something that too will be saved for another topic. So once again, thank you for tuning in. This is your girl, Queen. Make sure to follow me, Diamond 2 Queen, wherever site. It's the same, consistent across the board. Diamond, the number 2, and the word Queen. So have yourself a wonderful day. Have yourself a wonderful night. Have yourself a wonderful week, a wonderful year. But just remember, when you have those prayers, have them pure. I'm signing off, and this was Queen's Prayer.